What's up guys, I'm Kai, hope you're doing well, and today we got our first clutch of eggs of the 2021 season, so stick around, you're watching Lucas Linden Royals. We got our first clutch of eggs of the 2021 season. I've already pulled out her bowl and I was just about ready to pull her tub out of the rack when I realized I can't. Not yet. Why, you ask? Well, because this room is an absolute mess right now. Look at all this stuff. We have new tubs, we have a DIY snake rack in the making, putting together a video for you guys, so make sure you stay tuned for that. There's the base that it sits on, waiting for the paint to dry. Over here, we got my fish tanks all drained. I got to clean those out, and take a look over here. I'm in the middle of a water change and rearranging some of the plants. And this is the thing that I want to show you. This is my incubator. Obviously, we're going to need it when we pull that clutch of eggs. Take a look at the temperature in here, 90.1, so that's pretty good. So this sits in my closet. You can see there's insulation all around, but it's not going to stay there. This is actually going to come out. I think I'm going to put it into the snake room because I need to make room for a bigger incubator. Take a look at this. This measures 6 feet tall, 2 feet wide, 2 feet deep, and it's been all gutted. I got it laying on the side so I can work on the electrical. But guys, I'll have more on this in a future video. But first, we got to clean up the snake room and make some space so I can work without tripping over myself. So there was quite a bit of cleanup I had to do, but it was necessary because I need the space to work, especially when I'm pulling a clutch of eggs. Now, the female is a pastel lesser super stripe, and over here is the dad to that clutch, and he is a super pastel double visual hypo clown. I showed him off in an earlier video showing some of my powerhouse males, and this is one of them. Look how gorgeous he is. So this is the dad to that clutch, and I'm gonna try to feature both the mom and the dad whenever I'm talking about a clutch. I just found that very helpful, especially since in this clutch I'm gonna produce a lot of hets. Well, hopefully a lot of hets. Can't keep them all. That means I'm gonna have to sell some, and when you're selling hets to somebody, that buyer really wants to know if you're trustworthy, right? He wants to know if you actually produce them, if they're really hets, or if you're just lying and posting somebody else's picture on Morph Market. So when somebody inquires about an animal on my Morph Market, especially if it's a het, they always ask, what are the parents? Did I produce it? Things like that. Is it guaranteed 100%? And rather than just replying back yes or giving them a picture, I find it very helpful to provide a video. That way they know that, hey, here's all the work that went into breeding that animal this season. And so I want to show the mom, the dad in all my future videos whenever I talk about a certain clutch. That way it adds a little confidence into the buyer whenever they are inquiring about one of my animals, especially the hets. So now let me put the dad away. Let's get mom out and see how many eggs she gave us. And here she is. I disturbed her a little bit so she's not tightly as coiled as she was, but hopefully she's got to come off of that anyway. Oh, don't like this, don't like this. Boop. Okay, all right, so her tail came up already, so that's good. We can unhook, make sure that she is empty. Usually when she's tightly coiled, that means she's done laying already. Gonna get her into a bath. All right, so she is taking a bath now. We can see she gave us a nice little clutch of eggs. 7 eggs. What I like to do is make sure we pull them apart, and based on the texture, not the texture, but how much they're adhering to each other, I can tell that these were just laid not that long ago because they're able to come apart fairly easily. We'll just roll these off. And I'm not too worried about them moving around. I will candle them once I get them all separated. The reason I like to separate these eggs is because I have a fairly low profile egg box. So they do need to sit pretty low. And also, if one egg goes bad, it's very easy to remove the one egg rather than trying to peel them apart. after they've been incubated and developed. So it just makes it a little bit easier. And also you see this is not cocoa husk or anything. It's some kind of organic matter, so definitely want to get rid of that because that could cause mold or fungus or bacteria and stuff like that. These three right here are somewhat small, but I'm sure if there are veins, healthy veins, we will still get a baby out of these, or babies, plural. So just be gentle and roll back and forth. They should come apart. All right, so now we got them all apart. I am going to turn out the lights and we are going to candle them with a flashlight. So what I'm doing is just taking the light, shining to the egg, and you can see that because I was moving them, hopefully you can see that the embryo, where the red veins, is on this side. This side is fairly yellow where the light is, but you can see the veins are on this side. So we want to make sure the veins are facing up. And there's actually a little bubble in the middle, and that's where the embryo is. So we want to make a mark with a pen or a marker and go do that on all of these eggs. A sign of veins is good. That means that it is fertile. And then the embryo needs to face up. Now that we're done candling and marking them, it's time to put them into the egg box. And I already have one ready. This has been sitting in that incubator you saw earlier. I got some straws here as well. You'll see I use these to pin the eggs down so they don't roll. So this is the egg box, and what I like to do is, first of all, get some of the cocoa debris off of them, and we're going to stagger them in a kind of a zipper-like pattern. Just like that. We'll pin one of them down, and then we'll continue to just set them in there one at a time, making sure that our pen mark or marker is facing up, because that's where the embryo is. And we got one more. So that makes 7, which is a pretty nice size clutch. Anything above 6 is good in my mind. I like to try to average a little bit above 6. So there we are. And then a couple more straws to keep things from rolling. I think that should do it. So now pop on the lid. We'll take this back to the incubator, and in about 55 to 60 days, hopefully we'll get some babies to hatch, and I'll give you an update video. The eggs are now in the incubator. I do have to go and clean up mom and give her a fresh tub, but before I do that, I want to talk a little bit about this pairing because it's quite interesting. The mom is a pastel lesser and she is a super stripe. Super stripe is one of those act-like supers. It's a combination of yellow belly and a specter. So no matter what, she will always pass down one of those genes, either a yellow belly or a specter, never both, never none. So all of our babies are gonna have at least one morph. Now the dad, on the other hand, is a super pastel. That means he has 2 copies of the pastel gene. So no matter what, he will pass down 1 copy to every offspring. He's also double visual clown hypo. Now those are both recessives, and because they're both visual, he has 2 copies of clown and 2 copies of hypo. Therefore, no matter what, every one of his offsprings are going to inherit at least, well, 1 copy of the clown and 1 copy of the hypo. That means every one of the dad's offspring is going to have at least 3 genes. Pastel, 1 copy of the clown and 1 copy of the hypo, and then from the mom, at least 1 gene. So basically, every hatchling from this clutch, hopefully they'll hatch, are gonna start off with at least 4 genes, which is pretty cool. Now, they could also get one additional gene from the mom, which could be a pastel, another additional gene from the mom, which could be a lesser, or they could get both the pastel and lesser additional gene from the mom. So the best we could shoot for is a super pastel, lesser, yellow belly or specter, double het, hypo clown. That's pretty awesome. That about wraps it up for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you're new to this channel and you want to be informed of future uploads, make sure you're subscribed and ring that notification bell. As always, thanks for watching. Please share, and I'll see you guys next time.